Let's be honest, staring at a grant application can feel like you're trying to solve a puzzle in the dark. You know the funding you need is on the other side of that door, but getting it unlocked? Well, that's a whole other story. So in this explainer, we're going to give you the keys. We'll walk through how to avoid the most common pitfalls and seriously boost your chances of success.
Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off right away with a pretty sobering number. Up to 90%. 90% of grant proposals get rejected. Yeah, you heard that right. That's 9 out of every 10. It's a tough world out there, but knowing the odds is the very first step to beating them.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you make sure you're in that successful 10%? Well, it's not just about being a good writer. It's about having the right mix of strategy, a compelling story, and this one's key, resilience. Let's break down how you can nail all three. First things first. A winning grant proposal often comes down to the work you do long before you type a single word. It is all about laying that solid strategic foundation. Here are the 3 things you absolutely have to get right. 1. Make sure your mission clicks with the funders. You're not just asking for money. You're helping them achieve their goals. 2. Follow every single direction. I'm talking page limits, font size, margins, all of it. It matters. And 3, you need a crystal clear vision. If you're vague about the change you want to make, you're not getting funded. It's as simple as that. You know, this quote might sound a little blunt, but it is the exact mindset you need. Seriously. If a funder wants the application submitted on aqua blue paper, you go find that aqua blue paper. Don't argue with the guidelines, just follow them. It's the first test to show that you're a partner who actually pays attention. Okay, so once you've got your foundation set, let's move on to the heart of the proposal itself. It's not just about what you're going to do, but how you talk about it. This is where you have to blend a really powerful story with cold, hard data. And this is so important to remember. Funders are people. And you know what people connect with? Stories, not spreadsheets. The data proves you're competent, for sure, but it's the story that creates that emotional hook. It's what makes your cause feel real and urgent. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Saying, we served 500 meals is fine. It's a fact. But telling the story of one person who got one of those meals, that puts a human face on your impact. It turns a statistic into a story that a reviewer is actually going to remember. Now, to make sure your amazing story is backed up by a rock-solid plan, you need clear objectives. The gold standard for this is the SMART framework. Your goals have to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And this isn't just corporate jargon, you know. It's a checklist for creating a plan that funders can actually believe in. Just look at this example. A vague goal like increase community outreach. What does that even mean? How would you measure it? You can't. But when you make it a SMART goal, suddenly you have a clear target, a timeline, and a method. Now a funder knows exactly what their money is going to accomplish. All right, you've got your strategy down, and your story is compelling. Now, we got to talk about the details, because this is where so many otherwise good proposals completely fall apart. Every little thing, from the words you choose to the budget you build, really counts. Think of this table as your new best friend. It's your pre-flight checklist. Are your goals fuzzy? Are you using a bunch of jargon that only an insider would understand? Did you proofread it like 3 times? Funders are looking for easy reasons to put a proposal in the no pile, and this right here shows you exactly how to avoid giving them one. And next up, the budget. This is a huge one. It has to be detailed, it has to be realistic, and it has to be totally transparent. You can see here how every single line item, from salaries to flyers, has a clear reason behind it that connects right back to your goals. A messy budget is a massive red flag. So what happens when you do everything right and you still get that rejection letter? Well, this is where the real work begins. Let's talk about how to see rejection not as a failure, but as a strategic part of the long game. Yeah, seeing this stamp can be so frustrating. But the truth is, rejection is just part of the process. Almost nobody gets funded on their first try. The most important thing to remember is that a no isn't a dead end. It's a detour, and it's what you do next that defines your success. And you don't have to take my word for it. There's powerful data that proves this point. Just look at these success rates from the NIH. Brand new applications had about a 14% success rate. But for resubmissions, that rate more than doubled to over 32%. That is hard evidence that sticking with it pays off. So, how do you bounce back the smart way? Well, first, if you're allowed to, contact the funder and ask for feedback. What could you do better? Second, treat every single interaction as a chance to build a relationship. And finally, start seeing every application not as a one-shot deal, but as the start of a long-term conversation.
Let's end with this powerful thought from Thomas Edison. Grant writing is a marathon, it's not a sprint. It takes that strategy we talked about, it takes great storytelling, and it takes a whole lot of resilience. But the key takeaway is this: every single proposal, funded or not, makes you stronger for the next one. So whatever you do, don't give up. You might be a lot closer to success than you think.